I think that it would be cool to talk about Holly Madison.
Yay, boobies.
Say that again?
I said, yay, boobies.
There you go. This was a very interesting story because this is kind of about rewriting history to me.
Yeah.
It says, this article is from People Magazine. It says, people.com, not People Magazine. I'm not like reading.
Yeah.
People right here in the office.
It would be funny if you had a People magazine just in your bathroom.
Just pull it out. I don't read any physical magazines anymore.
Nope.
No. So it says, Holly Madison, who dated Hugh Hefner and lived in the Playboy mansion, details the experience in the upcoming docuseries Secrets of Playboy, airing January 24th in 10 parts on A&E. When I went to do like research into this, I started noticing, and I've been waiting for this to happen since Hugh Hefner passed, just getting dragged all over the media. Like in the post-Me Too era, like there's no way this dude would be allowed to have like a safe legacy, right?
I mean, The Simpsons like brought him once or twice, like any...
Yeah, how long ago?
I don't know. Well, it was like a whole episode where Bart was trying to copy Hugh Hefner, and he made his treehouse into a clubhouse.
But Hugh Hefner was alive still at that point because he had to play the character.
Yeah. But then like other forms of media does it too.
So, but not recently. Like I was saying, go ahead and Google Hugh Hefner and tell me what the top 3 or 4 articles are.
Well, there's like an anime series where it's like, basically it's called like, this is a popular category. It's called harems. And there's like an anime series where they do the same thing. Like anime still does it.
What do you mean?
Doing the whole like having a harem of women.
Anime is not America, so it's the American sensibilities are what we're talking about here.
Okay.
I want to see what the top 3 to 4 stories about Hugh Hefner are. Okay.
Top ones. Playboy denounced Hugh Hefner and renews commit to positive blah blah blah. Secrets of Playboy pulls back curtains of the dark side, that which you're reading right now.
Yep.
Basically, it's just the 3 things are about the secrets of the Playboy.
It says, but the article says Holly Madison says the Playboy mansion was, quote, cult-like. We were all gaslit. I get weary anytime I hear buzzwords right off the bat. So it says, Holly Madison is sharing more details about her dark experience as a Playboy bunny in a new clip from the upcoming docuseries Secrets of Playboy. The show, which has been releasing shocking trailers over the past few months, aims to unveil the hidden realities behind the empire helmed by Hugh Hefner, who died in 2017. The 10-part series is set to premiere January 24th, the network announced Wednesday alongside the new teaser. The reason, quote, the reason I think the mansion was very cult-like looking back on it is because we were all kind of gaslit and expected to think as Hef as this, like, really good guy. I mean, you're supposed to make your own interpretation of these things. You're an adult. You're not supposed to judge it based on what other people think. You're supposed to introduce yourself to a person, meet people, and then make your assumptions about that person based on your own experiences and interactions.
Yeah.
When I hear stuff like this, I just think about it as rewriting history.
Yes.
Right? She's looking at the world through a modern day lens, and applying it to a world in the past that wasn't there at that time. The world was a different place. It says, so they were expected to think of Hugh as this really good guy, Madison, who dated Hefner from 2001 to 2008.
Yep.
Okay, Holly Madison can't be... I need you to look up how old Holly Madison is, and Hugh Hefner died in like his 80s or something like that, right?
Yep.
So she would have been like whatever the age difference is between them. And she dated him for 7 years. You're telling me in 7 years you weren't ever able to figure out whether he was a good guy or not?
She's 42.
Okay, and so in 2001, which would have been 20 years ago, she would have been 22, 21 or 22, right? So, and he would have been in his 60s or his 70s.
Actually, let me search. Yeah, she was 21.
Yeah.
Somebody asked the question too. You're not the only one who asked how old was she when she dated Hugh Hefner.
Okay, and how old was he?
21. So, do the math between 2001 to 2008.
Okay, but I'm saying, but how old was he at that time in 2001? And says so she's dating somebody who's far older than she is, and started to feel like, oh, he's not what they say he is in the media. He's just a nice man. Quote, it was just so easy to get isolated from the outside world there, Madison says. You have a 9 o'clock curfew. You were encouraged not to have friends over. You weren't really allowed to leave unless it was like a family holiday. But you could leave at any time. You didn't have to stay there. You didn't have to date him. Like, I don't like this idea that you're taking your own responsibility and your own personal, I guess agency, and then you're making it about him when it should be about you making the decisions that an adult needs to make to live their best life.
Yeah.
I find that kind of...
I don't know, bud.
Like, it was very clearly not a normal thing to do. What you were choosing to partake in was not normal. I don't think it's right to kind of go back here and make it seem like you're a victim in this. I don't think you're a victim.
It's the same thing with Aziz Ansari,
Yep.
like with that one girl where she said she used her body language to tell him no, but she went all the way to his hotel room. They did the dirty,
Yep.
and then he drove her back home.
Or like he like got her an Uber or something like that. And then she decides afterwards that she didn't consent but he could have never known that. He cannot be responsible.
He even asked her too, because they interviewed his side of the story.
Yep.
I'm not saying like I'm not victim shaming or anything, because maybe we don't know. There's always, but it takes two to tango. But the saying, there's always three sides to every story, your side, my side, and then the truth falls somewhere in the middle. Yeah. But his side of the story, he said, I even asked her to. I said, does this make you feel uncomfortable? Is this okay? Do you want to continue? Do you want to stop? Like, he asked her throughout the whole night. And these topics are very big issues right now, are topics of consent. But this is more than that, though. This is just, like, it's not like this is a consent thing. They dated for 7 years. Like, and you're going back through it, and you're pretending like you were forced into it, or you were gaslit, and that it was like a cult. Okay, that may be true. Kind of is. It's a kind of cult. But you agreed to it. But you've agreed to do so, right? So, but you're speaking on it now. And it's not that I have a problem with it. It's that I think it's like, to me, it's like they know that there's money to be made in this right now, in talking about it. And I guess I wouldn't do that. They never said how old he is. They said how old she is. How old was he when he died? 91. Okay, so he died in 2017. So he was born in 1926. Wow. Okay. So you're dating somebody who's 40, 50 years older than you, you know. Who cares about the age gap? No, but I'm saying that, like, but she's going back here now and pretending like what all happened was all bad. And it's not fair, in my opinion. Like, all these people chose to participate in this. So it says, speaking further to her on her time at the Playboy Mansion, Madison, 42, later claims Hefner urged her to quit her waitressing job, which she only had 1 day a week because things didn't work out. He said it made him jealous and he would appreciate it if I quit my job, she said. So instead, we were given $1,000 a week as an allowance. Well, at least he's honest about what he feels, and he's like $1,000 allowance as a week. In addition to Madison, the docuseries will include interviews with Hefner's personal valet, Stephen Tenenbaum, Playboy Mansion West resident Jennifer Saganor, former bunny mother PJ Maston, former director of Playmate Promotions Mickey Garcia, and other past girlfriends of Hefner's. I mean, you didn't date Hugh Hefner and not know that he had this lifestyle, right? So to me, it's just a weird, like, it feels like we're going back to everything that was going on in, like, the early 2000s, and we're making it into be something awful and bad. Now, was this out of the realm of normal culture? Hell yeah. Super weird. Yeah. But you chose to be part of it, and we have to be responsible for our own actions as adults. Like, in the release, Elaine Fontaine Bryant, the executive vice president and the head of programming for A&E, says Secrets of Playboy will lift the veil on the long hidden stories of Playboy. I just want to point out, if she's saying this is a cult and she was forced into it, why did she I don't think she's saying she's forced into it. I think she's just, but she's talking about it now like it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing, but if it was such a bad thing and you think this guy is such a terrible person, why did you share 2 kids with him? Yeah. 7 years in a relationship. Yeah, 7 years together, and you had 2 kids, and both of your kids have very very nature-like names.
Yep.
The daughter's name Rainbow and the son's name Forest.
And it's not that I don't have like empathy for the situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was clearly a weird situation. She was still young, 21, but you're still a legal adult. Like
you're a legal adult, but you don't fully develop your brain until you're 25.
At 21, she made this decision. So then we get into this argument about like, but we can't infantilize people either. Once you're of age, at least in this country, at 18, and it's you have to be responsible for your own actions. If you're allowed to. Actually, that's not even true here anymore. Like now, like you're not allowed to. I think cigarettes are 21 too, as well as alcohol.
It always been like that in California. 21.
Oh, it's not. It wasn't like that in Minnesota. So it says she left the mansion in 2008 and spoke out about her experience in her 2015 book, Down the Rabbit Hole: Curious Adventures and Cautionary Tales from a Former Playboy Bunny. So she's monetized this very well. That I approve of. You know, you're allowed to. Make all the money on your crazy life stories that you want, but it just seems to me like it's being framed as if something awful happened when I don't feel like it's that's actually what happened here. I feel like you entered a very, very niche, very obscure world, and now they're talking about it, and it just feels like he's going to get Hefner's going to get crapped on after being this kind of cultural phenomenon, and people loved him for a long time. So
yeah,
I don't know. That might be an interesting show to watch, to be completely honest.
That's true. And also he did leave her money. I just searched it up because that was a question. According to Nikki Swift, Hefner left his fortune and several how much is it? Playboy Mansion. They don't say. I have to read the whole thing.
Okay. It says the Girl Next Door alum recently recounted her traumatic first sexual encounter with Hefner on her Power, the Hugh Hefner pod The Girls Next Door alum recently recounted her traumatic first sexual encounter with Hefner on the quote, or it's like called Power Hugh Hefner podcast. That's the weird name for a podcast. So it was traumatic. I mean, that's the word she uses for it, but they were together for 7 years. Wow. I don't know. I'm not supposed to have an opinion on this because I'm a guy and I'm not allowed to have opinions on these things.
I will allow you to have it. Go ahead and have your opinion.
I don't have an opinion on this.
Are you sure?
I say that the traumatic is one of those words that I think is highly overused in society today. How traumatic is it if you stay with them for 7 years? I can't know her story. I can't know what happened to her. But I always just think about this stuff whenever people come back and then things get dished on people that have already passed on and can't tell their side of the story.
Yeah.
I'm always weary of stuff like that.
I don't know.
Would you ever? Okay, here's the real question, Miracle. Would you ever go live at the Playboy Mansion?
Is it? So I get $1,000
a week
as allowance. Does she pay rent?
I don't think they pay rent while living at the Playboy Mansion.
So I don't have to pay rent. I don't have to pay for the water bill or electricity bill. Everything is paid for me. And I get free clothes and food.
But you have to,
do the
pretend
dirty.
To like Hugh Hefner.
Well, Hugh seems like a cool guy to have interesting stories with.
I'm sure that there's going to be like those stories that come out where it's like he was a monster, he was a ruthless businessman, and he was very controlling. But they are right in that your public persona is very different usually than what you are behind the scenes.
Yeah. So I think he would be a cool guy to talk to. But I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, that seems.
You're also
cool.
naive in her age when this happened. Maybe
I'm
that's
23.
Maybe that's how all these women got tricked into this, right?
Well, come on.
But you're still responsible for your own actions.
That's true. I'm just thinking about it because, like, you live there pretty much for free.
Yep.
You kind of chose that.
You literally are making, I'm sure, the exact same deductions that all the women made that exact same thing when they were offered this. They're like, I get free rent, and I don't have to pay any bills, and I get free clothes, and then I get to do all this stuff, and all I have to do is pretend to find Hugh Hefner attractive, and they all
he's not a bad-looking guy when he was younger in his heyday.
No, he's a good-looking dude.
So pros, no rent. I'm actually writing this down because I'm like, it shouldn't be that.
Pros, I'm sure unlimited clothing budget.
Free food.
Free
clothes because I like clothes.
The grotto, right? That was that thing, the Playboy grotto, like the waterfall thing in the back.
I don't know what it's called. This is like before my time, right?
I know, but that's why we're talking about it. I'm like, but everyone knows who this guy is.
A week. I'm trying to write the cons. It's Hugh Hefner. But I like older men.
Just proof that money fixes just about every problem.
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all I have.
She has decided that she will do it, ladies and gentlemen. And then, another pro you can add is that 15 years after you do it, you can write a tell-all book about it and make money that way.
That is so true. I can write a tell-all.
Yeah, you can write a book and then eventually
This is terrible. We're not advocating for this. I'm not actually doing it. I'm just doing a stupid bit.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
A lot of people were lured into that life, and I'm sure that there's stories from both sides, but Hefner can't tell his side of the story these days.
He created Pamela Anderson, maybe? Well, along the lines.
I don't think he's Dr. Frankenstein. I don't think he created her in a lab, but I'm sure.
No, she started her career from it.
I know.
That's what I meant.
Yes. So I don't know. I wanted to cover it just because it's just one of those things where you see so much of things where people like go back about their past and their history, and then they're kind of revising everything that happened and. Mm-hmm. I still give her the benefit of the doubt that maybe a lot of it was traumatic, but she's dealing with it and she's going through it. I just think that it sucks that Hefner can't be there to tell his side of the story. I'm sure that he is very different in real life than he is than he was in his very flowery and very pleasant public persona, but we'll never know because he's not here anymore. So
I don't know.
So the question is, you're saying yes, you're going there. You're going to you would have gone and lived at the Playboy Mansion.
$1,000 a week allowance.
Back then, think about that then. Like $1,000
that's
back
a lot
then.
still.
Yeah, it's a lot of money now.
That's still a lot. That
$4,000 a month to just be beautiful.
So okay, 1,000 times. So each
4,000 times 12.
Yeah, times 12. So that's not bad.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
We're literally watching Miracle work this out in real time.
I know. I'm like, wait, this seems kind of good. And also, I don't know.
But there was a dark underbelly to the whole operation.
It's Hugh Hefner.
Yep.
Do you want Hugh Hefner?
And I'm sure the stories that they're telling on here are nowhere near as crazy as the stories that aren't getting told, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure some pretty crazy shit happened. If Hollywood is as evil as we think it is, I'm sure that the Playboy Mansion is not much different. But I just think it's when they talk about these things after the person can't defend themselves anymore that I always get. I at least think it's worth having the conversation about. I mean, no disrespect to any party involved.
I don't know. It's just very messy. I'll tell you that.
I think honestly that's the best word for it. It's just like anytime you mix business and personal relationships and all this stuff, it becomes a very, very messy thing to have to deal with. So I think that's unintentionally a very apropos thing to say.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I think it's messy and people need to move on. He's kind of dead now.
He's very dead now. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.